Okay, so I might have had too fun with this. Um, I just anyway, okay, so I'm gonna go into it. So my TinyTransfer book, it's been the elementary teacher in me. It's been a while since I've been in the classroom to do fun projects, so I probably I went a little too far with this. Okay, so I took each one, and I'm a visual learner. I work with little kids. They love pictures, so I thought, what best way to demonstrate my learning, but with like sweet, simple words and pictures. So luckily they create a lot of visuals in here, so I didn't have to create too much. So my first one is learning about transfer theory, and you see I have Bo Peep, the black sheep, and the good shepherd, talking about how transfer theory has gone over time. I talk about train the mind, simple transfers, and complex transfers. Then I move on to number 2, which is set expectations for that's a soccer ball. And I have a goal because I think this is really where you need to set goals, and you really need to make reflections a priority, because you're not going to really get into it unless you like give it a try and then know that I'll not give it a try, but make this is where they talk about the tiny book, but I think making a goal. So when you walk into a PD, you say, at the end of this PD, we are going to do X, Y, and Z, and here's what I expect of you. I think that's a big thing. We do it with our kids. We should do it with adults too. Honestly, adults are harder than kids. The third one is model with authentic artifacts. So this is like a catwalk, for like a fashion show. And I put like a little book and a paper and a computer, because these are the teacher and student artifacts that you bring to the table. And I talk about using real examples and really showing how it works. And I think this is big because when you model with the artifacts, this is the time you're doing it without interruption. This is the perfect world almost. So it's not realistic all the way, but it gives you more of an idea of this is what it's supposed to look like, so you can kind of deeper understand and maybe navigate it when the reality hits in. Okay, so number 4 is my favorite, and this is the reflect on levels of transfer. So you notice that in the book they talk about these 6 little animals, so I was like, well, I have to draw all of these because they're funny, but I like, that's how I like remember things too. So when they talk about these things, so let me just, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so we have Ollie, which is the head in the sand ostrich, Dan, the drilling woodpecker, Laura, the lookalike penguin, Jonathan Livingston, which I find funny that they gave such a fancy name to a seagull, Kathy, the carrier pigeon, and Sam, the soaring eagle. I know that this is not about how great someone can draw, which I can't, but like, I thought I did a pretty good job. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, number 5, this one's not as fancy as my animals. It goes downhill. Plot applications with the TinyTransfer book. TinyTransfer book. I think this is kind of, and you can, I don't know if you do it with this one, but you can do it with other ones when you're saying that expectation. Make a plan and complete that plan. I think that's the biggest thing. People are all talking like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to use this strategy. And then like they walk back into their classrooms and they're still doing the same thing from 1953. So I think it's important that like, even like say you're doing a TinyTransfers book, like during the PD or whatever, I think it's important for them, they could jot down, I always like to see like, where am I going to use this, or how am I going to use this? So you can almost have them like do that in their book too, and make that plan. If I really, find at least one of the strategies I'm talking about today and ask yourself, how am I going to use this in my classroom? Where would this make my life easier? And then that brings into number 6, which is my plate of spaghetti and sauce. And it says, try something immediately. I love spaghetti, but like sometimes little kids don't like spaghetti with sauce, or something. But anyway, it's about trying something new and making the commitment. I think that try something immediately is big, because either you forget about it or you like half do it, and people are like looking for it to fail. So I think trying it out and, not just saying, oh, I tried it, ew, I'm done. like really trying it out, maybe giving it even a second try once you kind of, and that's where that reflection piece comes in. You don't let your teachers walk away and say, well, I tried and it failed, so sorry. Go, okay, well, why did it fail? And what can we do now? What can you as and kind of put that responsibility back on them, especially your tough cookies. Because if not, it's a losing battle. And then the last one, dialogue with hugging and bridging questions. I think this is really good. My new system actually uses this. They like not force. Okay, they like pair us up kind of thing and put us in little cohorts within the county because there's only one of me in my school building. So, so using the buddy system, talking it out and keeping it going. What can we keep doing as time changes, as the kids change, as new curriculum comes out? Like, it doesn't mean that just because new things are happening that you have to completely throw out something that's worked before. You just kind of maybe need to modify it, or you need to change it as you keep moving forward. And I think that's really big. And I think being able to like have that dialogue with somebody else, whether they do the same job as you or not, is really big, because it's just kind of like using a soundboard. And I think that's really important in a growth and a change process of like, this really worked for me. Oh, that didn't really work for me. Like, what do you think about this? And, we do it all the time sometimes without even thinking about it really. So I think if we become more aware of it as we're changing things, it's going to make a big difference. Okay. That's my fun book. There it is. So sorry that was so long. I was just really excited to share.